ये बड़ा ही कमाल का सेशन है, बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है। एक्चुअली मुझे अब लग रहा है इसका नाम मैड अबाउट वॉइस एक्टिंग की जगह 4 more shots प्लीज रखना चाहिए था, बट दैट वाज ऑलरेडी टेकन। सो दिस ऑल वुमेन पैनल इज गोइंग टू बी one fantastic time with 4 girls chatting about their common passion, voice acting.
Hello, girls. Shall we get ready for our shots?
Oh, yes.
Hello. Super excited.
Always fun to have an all-girl panel. So,
and such a privilege to be on the panel with you.
Oh
Totally
my God,
honored.
my privilege to be on the panel with all of you too. So let's get right into it since we are already half an hour down, and I want to get enough time to speak to each of you individually. The most interesting question that I have faced in my life, and I think it's the most interesting when I speak to people also, is that how did you become a voice actor? Because it's not a natural career choice. It's not something you study to be or you work towards. So, ye kaise hua? Pallavi, can I start with you?
Sure, Monaji. So, I was 4 when I got approved in All India Radio. So it was actually, I think my dad dragged me to the studio and he said audition. So I auditioned, and then by my seniors, Grace and everybody, I got through. And so I started recording All India Radio dramas. And wahi se, I think I started. Best place to learn. And I remember there used to be a patla, chota sa aisa stool tha, because the microphone was like, exactly. So I used to like, there used to be one patla on top of another, and then I used to stand on that patla and then reach the mic somehow and then record. And with all the seniors around, and so much to learn. Mera basics were learned there only. So I think that's how I started. And I find this more challenging than the TV medium.
And ये जो बहुत gradual एक learning process होता है बचपन से, and through watching people, through performing with people, that is an invaluable learning. ये मतलब किसी course में या किसी training में सिखाया नहीं जा सकता, कितना भी कोशिश
I agree. I agree.
Really, really amazing. How about you, Bhumika?
Well, my realization of my dream of becoming an artist started when I was in school, because I was a very active child. So I used to participate in every activity in school, be it extemporary, debates, annual function. And I'm so thankful to my teachers that they had faith in me and they encouraged me. Later, I did mass communication. And while I was pursuing mass communication, I got an opportunity from a radio channel. So in radio, I learned different aspects of audio medium and obviously other things. And while I was in radio, I thought I should explore the other aspects of performing arts. So that is how I made my demo reel, and I shared with a few production houses, and I started getting work. And after that, there's no looking back, thankfully. So I remember my very, very first series, which I dubbed was for Disney. Disney back then in 2012, it was called Disney UTV. And the very first commercial I recorded was Idea Cellular, which I recorded for Globe Studios. So yeah, so far so good.
Wow, fantastic. That's been quite a journey then. And radio also in a way is a great teacher, because you just do so much work in radio. It's so non-stop that you really have to think on your feet, na?
On your toes, yes.
बहुत मुश्किल लगता है जो काम RJs करते हैं, क्योंकि मैंने कभी वो काम किया नहीं है. So, Surbhi, you tell me.
My story is pretty similar to Pallavi. Always wanting to be an actor. So my dad said कि अगर अच्छी acting करनी है, तो voice diction and voice modulation is very much a part of acting. तो आप वो भी करो. So he was the one who took us, to for voicing, for dubbing, and of course, yes, All India Radio, doing plays. That's what it is. And वहाँ से बहुत कुछ सीखा और realize किया कि कैसे आप voice variate कर सकते हो और use कर सकते हो acting के लिए. So yeah, that's how we basically started. Me and my brother both.
Oh, that's fantastic. And that is again, coming back to what Pallavi said. It's an invaluable way to learn voice acting.
Absolutely, because you had so many seniors around you, और आप पहले तो और में होते हो और आप देखते हो, सीखते हो, आप छोटे हो तो आप तुरंत ग्रास्प भी कर लेते हो कि ये लोग कितना अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, मुझे भी उतना करना है, कैसे बोलते हैं, माइक कहाँ पे है, कैसे अगर चिल्लाना भी है, तो you learn all these things very early in your life, so which was a great learning lesson. Yes.
So tell me, each of you, what is it that makes you mad about voice acting? ये जो हमारा title of our session, what is it that makes you mad about voice acting? And what about voice acting makes you mad? Dono.
Very amazing question. Very interesting.
Pallavi?
Ji. So I think what makes me mad about voice acting, Mona ji, is that the deadlines are crazy and every client's work is important and the deadlines are like unreal. आपको सारा काम अभी ही देना है, वो वाले जो clients होते हैं ना, that's really like that. I get super annoyed with that. फिर आपका काम भी important है, आपका भी important है, तो फिर कैसे क्या करना है? I get crazy about that.
हमें डॉक्टर दीपा सुरभि का मंथली मेंबरशिप चाहिए होता है.
I'll take her number from Kiran, maybe. And voice, Mona ji, and everybody, it's always been my passion. I started early. I was 2 when I started doing TV commercials and TV. But when at 4 I got approved, I was so fascinated कि सिर्फ आवाज से कैसे evoke कर देते हैं and कैसे आपका character आप सिर्फ आवाज से बता देते हैं. So I saw magic in front of my eyes and then I got so drawn and so pulled. और मुझे लगा कि इससे ज्यादा difficult acting, TV acting, film acting से ज्यादा difficult voice acting है. And I wanted to do something that is more challenging. So I just started doing voiceovers and then धीरे pages started, flipping and I saw kitni layers into voice acting and then I'm still learning and I think, I think that's my passion for voice and that's keeping me hooked to it.
What about you, Bhumika? What are the pros and cons?
I think I like everything about voicing and voice acting. In fact, the most important part which I like is how interesting it would be to you to play you. As in, for actors, usually the inspiration is the script and the emotion and the emotion they bring into a scene. For us, voice actors also, the inspiration is the scene and how accurately you can enact somebody's voice. So when I'm recording, I'm really fortunate to have recorded few leading actors. So whenever I'm recording an actor, I just listen to them and I try and bring that voice in a manner. I try and listen to them. How do they normally talk? Their conversations. Where do they pause? And when I'm recording the actor, I would not go on mic unless and until I'm very sure that my head has started rehearsing the dialogues in their voice. So yes, and what makes me passionate about this craft is I don't differentiate whether I'm recording a VO or a character voice, or I'm recording audiobook, or I'm recording from my setup or in the studio. Every project which you're recording is important and I try and give my 100% to it.
Oh, that's excellent. Excellent. Surbhi?
Well, I get mad when say the dubbing director or somebody who does not know their job or does not know what they want. I'll share an experience. I was dubbing for a film, a Netflix film, an original film, and there were so many people there. There was the assistant director, there was an engineer, of course we need one, there was a dubbing director and one more person, and they were just shooting all different ideas to me. Acha, aise try karo, waise try karo. I'm like, hello, I have sent you my voice audition and you all have approved. That was the voice and that was the take we were supposed to be doing. And they didn't know what they want. So they had taken half an hour to 45 minutes. It was a very important character. And we took around 2 hours. I was called again. And then luckily I had somebody who knew what they wanted out of me, and I was out of the studio in half an hour. So yeah, sometimes when the opposite person does not know what they want to get out of you, that gets me mad. And I am mad about the creative satisfaction that I get. Like Pallavi rightly said, that, you know, when you're acting, you have your face, you have your eyes, you have your body and everything, where you can portray so many emotions. But here, it's just your voice. And voice where we are, you know, Hindi to English hota hai, English to Hindi hota hai, aajkal Spanish to Hindi, Japanese to Hindi. Now we are doing so many other different languages. तो वो सारा कल्चर भी अपने आवाज में लाना, वो कैसे आप डिपिक्ट कर सकते हो, वो क्रिएटिव सैटिस्फैक्शन जो मुझे मिलता है, I'm mad about that.
So many different kinds of characterization, so many different cultures, so many different styles of acting also, na?
Exactly.
Totally.
See, I started out sultry, sensuous, and now I'm doing something which is more animatic. Yeah, a person who has bipolar disease, you know, so she's going to, oh yeah, really, acha. So, my God, it's so satisfying when you see it's come across so well.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Give me a quick career highlight, each of you. Pallavi?
For me, it was it's very interesting that I started doing dubbing for Doraemon and Shin-chan. It started at UTV, and I was doing several characters in Doraemon, and Shin-chan I played the mother and the little infant, the baby. So it's so interesting that whoever got to know that I'm dubbing, they used to come and say कि अरे ये characters के पीछे आवाज आप लोग देते हैं, ये आवाजें मतलब human आवाजें होती हैं. So I was like, अरे मतलब people are not aware only of the industry. Back then they were not. Now so it's all
awareness काफी बढ़ गया है ना अभी?
क्या कह रहे हैं आप? Sorry, I
awareness काफी बढ़ गया है ना अभी?
काफी awareness, जी, absolutely. People are not, but it was so funny that the moms used to come to me and say कि शिनचान को कुछ सिखाते क्यों नहीं हो आप? डोरेमोन वाले गैजेट्स मेरा बच्चा मांगता है, मैं किधर so interesting. फिर मैं कहती थी बिल्कुल, मतलब मैं बोलूंगी उसको अगली बार.
Bhumika, what is the highlight for your? What has been the highlight for you so far?
I think the very first feature film that I dubbed 2.0, that was a career highlight because I was recording for Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, and secondly, I saw that in newspapers before the movie was released. It was in every damn newspaper that she's a part of the film. So I thought probably they have not retained my voice. She's done her part. So I was like disappointed कि मेरा voice नहीं होगा शायद film में. And when I went to the theater first day, first show, and listening to myself was like wow. And then I saw the name in the credits too. At times, producers and directors do not want to tell the audience that it is the part has been dubbed by an artist, because then the audience feel cheated. So that was a major career highlight, I guess. And currently I'm recording for Darrpan Mehta ka Chhota Chashma, so it's fun journey.
Yeah, in what language?
Hindi.
Hindi. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What fun that must be.
Yeah. So
highlight? Sorry, Bhumika. Sorry, Bhumika.
Bhumika.
You're saying something?
No,
Okay.
you continue.
Okay. Surbhi, career highlight?
Well, I have the privilege, I've had the privilege to work with Leela ji. So the film which I dubbed with her, The World Is Not Enough. Mona, you remember that one? You were playing. Yes. So that was really a big career highlight for me. And coming back to my second inning, which I have started about now, is Lucifer, Maid, 9 Perfect Strangers, which I got an award for last year. Or abhi I'm dubbing for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. No, sorry. Maid was something I really enjoyed.
Yeah. Great. So what would you say has been like the the best or the worst advice you got at the start of your career?
So yeah, please.
Bolo,
Yeah.
bolo, Pallavi. We'll keep going in the same order. I feel like I'm doing fire now because वक्त इतना कम हो गया है और मुझे इतना जानना है आप लोगों से कि अभी मतलब I can't help it. I have to do rapid fire only now.
Yeah,
So
we'll
बोलते जाएंगे.
And we'll also say like that.
Yes.
So start of my career to nahi hona chahiye, but I was recording for a client and she was stuck on this one word and she wanted to make me say it in a particular fashion. And I said, no, but that's wrong pronunciation. So I really got stuck. That word was coming like 500 times in the script and I was just not okay with the pronunciation she was throwing at me. And I was like, but that's wrong. And so that VO, I said no to eventually. I said, I'm not going to record wrong. So the agency got back to me and said, ki, Pallavi, dekho, this is one advice that we want to share with you. Client is always right, and you really turned down this VO, and it's not going to work and stuff like that in the long run. So I was like, okay, but I felt that I did not take that advice because I feel that if we are collaborating on a project and having been in the industry for so long, and if you're educated about something and the client is not, it is my moral duty being part of that project to sort of share my knowledge and educate the client. And, ek saath collaborate karke bring the best. But so that advice I never took. I'm glad. But the best advice was to never put all eggs in one basket. I was told to, learn. There's so many streams to our art, our craft. There's dubbing, there's animation, there's movie dubbing, there's corporate views, and commercials and whatnot, podcasts now, running your own YouTube show and whatnot. So, training to get trained in every field is important so that you're diversifying your craft and then you're never sitting without work. And that advice I really, really follow, and I love every part of my craft. So I'm constantly learning also. So yeah.
I so agree with you. Pallavi, मेरी मम्मी हमेशा मुझे कहती थी कि किसी भी काम को ना मत कहना, because you never know कौन सा काम तुम्हें कहाँ पहुँचा देगा या what you'll get out of it, what you learn out of it. चीज को ना कहना. So it's amazing that work teaches you so much, daily, working daily. How about you, Bhumika? Some fun advice you got, or great advice, or terrible advice?
I think it's related to the same thing. The worst and the best advice I got at the start of my career was few people told me don't charge much because you're a newcomer, and it's like, who knows you? And I was like, yeah, who knows me? And then later I met few people who advised me against it. But now I feel in case you're good and you have faith in your work, you should never undermine yourself.
Right. And how about any great advice you got?
Great advice is, like you said, say yes to every project you get. At the beginning of your career, yes. So 5 years, I said yes to every recording, every project I got. I did not differentiate whether I'm recording it for a commercial, I'm recording it for TV or digital film, or I'm recording or narrating an audiobook, or I'm dubbing a character. So yes, I think that's the greatest advice, saying yes to every project you get.
Totally agree. I think there's no better way to start. Any opportunity, just grab it. So all of you listening online, please, this is, I think, the best piece of advice anyone can give you. Grab every opportunity to learn, to network, to be out there, to meet people. It's amazing. That's how you'll integrate yourself into the industry also. Surbhi, how about you?
Well, my biggest and the greatest advice which I follow to date is from Leela ji herself. When I started dubbing for Young and the Restless and Bold and the Beautiful, I would come dub, go. She noticed it and she called me. And
were you a bit disinterested then?
No, that's exactly what I'm coming to. So she said, Subi, why are you dubbing? Give me an answer. And you know, Leela ji, I could do a whole session on how she would always be so personal with all her dubbing artists and always talk to them. So उन्होंने मुझे पूछा कि आप डबिंग क्यों कर रहे हो, मुझे ये बताओ. I did not have an answer. I said, नहीं वो क्या है कि अभी एक्टिंग थोड़ा लल है तो मैं कर रही हूँ. She said, no, ऐसा मत करो. अगर आपको डबिंग करनी है तो पूरी शिद्दत से करो क्योंकि वो दिखता है. So this goes out to everybody who's starting out or is already there, just about beginning or wanting to start out. Please don't take dubbing as a part-time thing. It's a full-time. You have to give your everything to it. You just can't say, हाँ चलो जाके dubbing करके आते हैं, देखते क्या है. नहीं. Which is what my attitude was back then. और फिर जब मैंने ज़्यादा concentrate किया और अब तो like, you know, I'm totally head on, leg, everything on. It's giving me so much in return, so much in return. I'm so happy internally. I'm receiving awards for that. So yeah, that was the biggest advice. Ki, don't do anything half-hearted. Yeah, don't do ki, हाँ चलो कर लेते हैं. No, you have to give it your best. Concentrate, learn, evolve, and it is going to return. It is going to return. So that was the advice given to me. Bad advice nahi mili aaj tak, touch wood.
Thank God for that.
Yes, absolutely. I have all you around me, you know, lovely people. So no bad advice coming my way.
No, I want to ask Mona ji, did you receive any bad advice ever?
ये तो हमेशा कई बार recordings में मिलता ही रहता है, जैसे how you said ना, experiences. Sometimes you're asked to do things that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you're asked to pronounce things a certain way or enact things a certain way, which is not coming to you naturally, or which you feel is gelling with the character, and yet you have to do it just because, you know, the client is paying you to do it. And कभी-कभी it's uncomfortable, लेकिन बोलना पड़ता है कि नहीं मैं ये नहीं कर सकती या मैं ये नहीं बोलूँगी. So you know, it's not advice, but yeah, sometimes things go into the wrong direction and it makes you very uncomfortable in the middle of a recording. And you know, at that moment, it's very tricky. It's a tricky situation. कि what level are you at to really handle that situation? क्योंकि हर कोई तो ये बोल नहीं. If you're a very new artist, it's very difficult to say कि नहीं मैं ये नहीं करूँगी. So a veteran can say it more easily, or a famous personality can say it more easily. But हर किसी के बस की बात नहीं है कि वो बोल दे कि मैं ये नहीं करूँगी, या मेरे से ये नहीं हो रहा है, या मैं ये नहीं कर पाऊंगी, या ये गलत है. ये तो बोलना मतलब बात है. So I think those are the difficulties that most people have, and we have to find a gentle way, or a kind way to express ourselves, I think, in those situations. Definitely. Oh yeah. You know, where a lot of the times in our career also, all of us are here. Darpan ने हमारे इतने glowing introductions दिए हैं, so we needn't really talk much about our successes. But how do you handle failure? Is something that I feel I want to know, and a lot of people online also want to know, because there are so many people now wanting to get into voice acting. And even for us, even today, it's important for people online to know, or the people listening to us to know, that even today I would get rejected for a job. It's not that just because you are well known now that you're going to get accepted for everything, or that you're perfect for everything. And it does definitely hurt. So how do you handle failure?
Mona ji, I've hit rock bottom once, and it was a bad space, obviously. And but then gradually, when I was bouncing back, I realized that failure teaches you so much more, and such important lessons. Success is important. It is also very beautiful, but failure is the biggest teacher. And rejections. बुरे तो लगते ही हैं, मतलब if the work goes to somebody else, you do feel bad, but I think it's a journey. It's a, you know, failures and successes, वो तो part of the journey है. But I feel failure sort of gets me, my reality check in order. It sort of tells me कि देखो ज़्यादा उड़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. You have to keep your head down, be humble, focused, and I feel failure teaches me to unlearn, because we tend to get so repetitive. एक ही तरह से pause लेना, एक ही तरह से शब्द उठाना, एक ही तरह से sentence छोड़ना, एक ही style पकड़ लेना. I think वो आपको check में रखता है failure. So failure is slightly closer to me than success.
Yeah, failure is a big teacher also. Bhumika?
I think the best part about being voice artist is it's a new journey every day. So one day you're in studio A, the other day you are in studio B, Monday you're recording with team A, Tuesday you're with team B. And there are several instances that in the same day, you're working with different teams on different projects. So no one is going to remember what you did yesterday. Every day you have to prove yourself, and every day is a new challenge. So for me, failure or success is in case your voice is working for any project, it's a success. In case your voice doesn't work, it's a failure. So it works, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But for me, I don't take success or failures personally because at times the other voice is better fit for any commercial or any character. So I don't take it personally, but having said that, I try and give my 100% to any project I work for.
Right. Okay. Yes, of course. I mean, we have to do irrespective.
Correct.
Because that's what will reduce the failures, hopefully.
True that. Mona, if you remember, when I started my so-called second innings, when I started, the very first film that I was dubbing for was a very talky film, okay? And the first day of the dubbing, I was taking too many takes, clicks, sounds, blows. And when I finished my dubbing, which was like, say it was 3 hours, I took 4 to 5 hours, and the film was not complete, and came out and I could sense the air was so dense. Or I asked the director, I was meeting him for the first time, to kaisa raha aaj ka din? And he was like, acha tha ma'am, acha tha. So I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? I went back home and I told my husband, Dharmesh, it is not working. Something's going wrong. I think I've forgotten how to dub and I don't know if I should continue. So I went back again. He says, no, you have to do it. So next day again, okay. And it was still bad. So then I spoke to Kalpesh Parekar, HOD at Sound and Vision. I said, Kalpesh, what is going wrong? Have I forgotten how to dub? He's saying, you are too tensed, you're too stressed. So hence you're not being able to deliver. And I said, but I'm taking too many takes. So he says, that's okay. It's okay if you take a few or more number of takes. You needn't be like, oh, first take, okay. Nahi. It has to be a perfect take. So for me, failure is more like not being rejected for a voice. I think I can handle that. But when I'm not doing a job properly, then it plays up onto my mind. I want to give it my perfect. I want to be the best that I can do within the frame of the actor, the character, and all of that. So that's when you feel that you are not doing well, I started talking to people around. Mona, I spoke to you too, and you said, play it by the ear. Hear her again and again and again, and then you will get it. You will not have to work so much because you're listening to her voice so much. And like I think Bhumika also said, that it is there in your head. So that's how you give the best. So for me, that is what it is. That's how I would handle my failure, by learning, by unlearning, by evolving. I think all our past sessions also, all the panelists and everybody is saying, learn, evolve. So that's what it is.
And I think this is a great tip for everybody listening also. Okay, ours is a very a profession that grows purely out of practice. So, the more you practice, the more you're at it, the more you get proficient at it also. You become good at it.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
Even if you're not working, you have to constantly keep practicing, because that's what will get you work at the end of the day.
Yes.
तो ये तुमने break क्यों लिया था? और ये second innings कैसे हुआ?
Second innings हुआ all because of you. We met at a break. Personal reasons. Yeah, so I was not doing anything. I was not even acting then. 3 to 4 years, just nothing. Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah.
But it's great to have you back. I don't know what we'd do without you, what we were doing
Please,
without
I
you.
still remember you just dragging me. We met at not a very happy place, a somber occasion, and you said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm chilling. I'm not doing anything." And Mona goes, "What? You can't do this." She was literally animated. She's saying, "We are working. We have deadlines, and you're doing nothing. You're enjoying life." No, 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 that doesn't happen. She's saying,
I'm jealous of anybody who does nothing. Honestly, I'm very jealous.
she told me, "I have something in mind for you, and you have to come and start dubbing for me." So I'm like, "Okay, Mona, I'll think about it and whatever." And then we parted ways. I see her stepping out, and within 5 minutes, I get a call from Sound and Vision. "Ma'am, aapka time chahiye. Ma'am, aapka time chahiye." I'm like, "Hello, wait." So yeah, that's how it began, and I'm not regretting one bit of it, not at all.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Good.
great. That's
It's
great.
good to be back,
What do you
Mona.
think is a great misconception about being a voice actor, Pallavi?
That it is easy.
मुझे तो लोग पूछते थे तुम करती क्या हो, तो आई यूज्ड टू से कि मैं वॉइस एक्टिंग करती हूँ, मैं वॉइस ओवर्स करती हूँ, मतलब बोलना है, आई सेड सिर्फ बोलना है, मतलब तो देन इट वाज लाइक इसके पैसे मिलते हैं, हाँ पैसे मिलते हैं, मैं क्या करूँ? Fun misconceptions you guys have come across in your career.
Same, I think ये same story. क्या करती हो? voice overs करती हूँ. क्या होते हैं voice overs? ये आप टीवी पे आवाज सुनते हो ना, रेडियो पे सुनते हो. अच्छा वो करती हो तो अच्छा तो बोलना ही है. तो मेरा बेटा भी बड़ा अच्छा बोल लेता है, मेरी बहन भी बहुत अच्छा बोलती है. तो फिर बताओ फिर कभी. Okay, they think it's easy work, easy buck, and
बोलना ही तो है.
ना बोलना है, क्या करना है, खड़े होके बोलते ही तो हो तुम लोग. But it's hard work, people. It is very, very hard work. You have to constantly learn, unlearn, practice. और बहुत सारी चीजें सिर्फ आवाज होना और सिर्फ बोल, आप अगर बहुत टॉकेटिव है, बहुत बोलना आपको अच्छा लगता है, सिर्फ वही काफी नहीं है. बहुत सारी चीजें हैं इस क्राफ्ट में. और लोगों को लगता है कि अच्छा फिर आप इतनी अच्छी आवाज है और आप टीवी में भी और रेडियो में भी बोलते हैं, तो खट्टा नहीं खाती होंगी, अचार नहीं खाती होंगी, ठंडा पानी नहीं पीती होंगी, रियाज करना पड़ता होगा बहुत सारा. तो ये सब तो नहीं करती हूँ. I don't know if I should be saying this, but I eat everything.
Dr. Sumi is not going to like it.
Come back to the same point.
I should zip. I'll zip.
नहीं ये जो हम कह रहे थे कि as is a practicing profession, and हम जितना काम करते हैं उससे हमारा काम बढ़ता भी है. Then you don't need to do this kind of ये जो रियाज और ये सब जो लोग बोलते हैं. That is more for people who are coming, fresh into the profession, I would say. Right. But जो लोग regular,
agree.
It's a common question, so I would like to answer it कि हाँ ये सब करना पड़ता है नए लोगों को. जो लोग रोज काम कर रहे हैं वॉइसिंग पे, उनका वॉइस ऑलरेडी इतना एक्सर्ट हो रहा है कि जरूरी नहीं है कि उसके बाद भी हम रियाज करते रहें और वोकल एक्सरसाइजेस करते रहें और ऑल काइंड्स ऑफ. हाँ, थोड़ा सा टेकिंग केयर तो करना पड़ता है. यू हैव टू बी केयरफुल हाउ यू यूज योर वॉइस. गला फाड़ना नहीं है, ठंडा गरम खट्टा, ऑल दीज थिंग्स जो आई एम श्योर डॉक्टर दीपा सुर्वे ने कहा होगा पिछले सेशन में. सो ऑल दोज थिंग्स ऑफ कोर्स वन हैज टू कीप इन माइंड, बट बियॉन्ड दैट आई डोंट थिंक it's necessary to constantly do practice when you're working every day. But yeah, what are the peculiar misconceptions you've dealt with, Bhumika?
Like you said and like Pallavi said, मुझे भी बहुत बार ऐसा बोला गया, आप कार्टून्स के लिए वॉइस करते हो, you do mimicry ना. And people think that anyone with good diction or good voice can become a voiceover artist. So over the years, I've realized that people don't understand what voicing is. It is not just about reading script, or it is not just about modulating your voice. It takes a lot of effort and perseverance and skill and practice to dub a character. And that is a 3-hour long character. It's not that easy. Similarly, it takes a lot of creativity and practice and skill to understand and add copy. So each time you have to be different and yet maintain same zeal and enthusiasm for all your projects. And when we are recording an animation project, the skill is different. When we are recording a voiceover, the skill has to be different. So we can't merge the two. So we can't say that अगर आप animation कर रहे हो तो आप voice artist हो, या audio books record कर रहे हो तो voice artist हो. Voicing is so much more than that.
मेरे घर वाले कहते हैं मेरी आवाज बहुत अच्छी है तो मुझे डबिंग करना है. मुझे सिर्फ नेटफ्लिक्स पे डबिंग करना है. मुझे एक्टिंग में इतने पैसे मिलते हैं तो मुझे डबिंग में ना मुझे इतने पैसे मिलेंगे तो ही मैं डबिंग करूंगी. I'm like, yeah, sure, come.
Yeah.
I tell them, listen, this is not the way we've started. सीधा नेटफ्लिक्स में जॉब नहीं मिलेगा, आपको क्राउड डबिंग करनी होगी. एंड नाउ तो आई टेल देम कि आपको बकायदा क्लासेस में जाना पड़ेगा. आई गिव एवरीबॉडी हु इज टेकिंग क्लासेस गिव देयर नंबर्स. आई सेड गो देयर, लर्न योर क्राफ्ट, एंड देन इफ यू आर गुड दे विल पिक यू अप. सेकेंडली, आपको आवाज अच्छी लगती है अपनी और मॉम एंड डैड को अच्छी लगती है, बट इट इज द वे यू साउंड इन द ऑन माइक और आप कैसे पोर्ट्रे करते हो कैरेक्टर. और जरूरी नहीं है कि सीधा ही आपको नेटफ्लिक्स या Amazon या ऐसे ही प्रोजेक्ट्स मिलेंगे. You have to come from step 1, from the ladder. You have to climb the ladder. You just can't straight away go to the 10th step, right? So नहीं फिर इतना सब है तो नहीं हो पाएगा, रहने दो. I said हाँ, रहने दो. You know, they don't understand the concept of crowd dub or all of that, because they feel, oh, immediately we'll get down, oh, voice sayings, glamorous, or पैसे आने आ जाए, मिलने लगेंगे, and all of that, you know. They don't know how we also started. I mean, I started with voicing with the crowd and all of that. So yes, you have to learn the ropes before you go anywhere. They just feel कि अरे वाह, it's glamorous, it's अच्छा है, पैसा है.
ये एक तुमने बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट बात कही अभी सुरभि की, ये जो क्राउड डबिंग हम करते हैं, इट इज अ ग्रेट टीचर. हम सब कर चुके हैं. एंड कभी कभी कुछ लोग जो ट्रेनिंग कोर्सेज से आते हैं, वो कहते हैं नहीं मैंने इतना कोर्स किया है, इतना लंबा कोर्स किया है, मैं क्राउड डबिंग नहीं करूंगा, मैं तो कैरेक्टर्स करूंगा. it's I think personally it's a wrong attitude to have, because it is invaluable. This learning is invaluable, and it gives the dubbing directors a chance to see what you're capable of. And coming to dubbing directors are my favorite people, because they are the unsung of the dubbing industry, जिनके बारे में बहुत कम लोगों को पता होता है. But there is a very interesting question from Shyam.
Oh, no, I want to add one more thing. Sorry, over here. Very, very sorry to interrupt. You know, after dubbing the James Bond film and all that, I get another call from Sound and Vision saying, we need your whole day. I said, okay, for what? Crowd dubbing karna hai. I'm like, yeah. I was little taken aback. So saying, हाँ, Leela ji ने कहा है that she wants you to do this crowd dubbing. So I said, if Leela ji said, then yes. So I go to Aradhana Studios and I walk in. I see Shobini ji. I don't know. I mean, she was a veteran. She was the voice back then. I see Geeta ji. I see Madhuri ji, Prachi Sabe. I said, इन लोग का अभी पहले डबिंग होने वाला है, फिर बाद में हमारा डबिंग होगा क्राउड का, या कैसे है? And I was told, नहीं, वो लोग सब crowd dubbing के लिए आए हैं.
Wow.
So imagine. And that was the 5th element. Again, Mona, do you remember that?
Yeah, that was such a fun film. My God.
Yes. And imagine you had stalwarts coming and doing the crowd dub. Geeta Kapoor and all of them. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
So that is how you learn. That is how you learn.
You mustn't undermine the work of crowd dubbing. It's a very important aspect of dubbing.
Exactly.
It's a very big teacher. Very big teacher.
True.
Again. So I was coming to this question that Shamal is asking. She's saying that, can you share your experiences with different types of dubbing directors? Which kind of directors do you feel it is easier working with? And do they do dubbing directors perform the scene first, or do they only give you a brief? Pallavi?
No, dubbing directors are very, very important. So they've mostly, when I go to dub a film, sometimes I've seen the film, sometimes I don't know about it. So वो उनका इतना सारा काम होता है, उनका सारा homework होता है. They pick the voice which best suits the character. sometimes you audition also, but वो पूरी film देख के बैठ के जान के समझ के बैठे होते हैं, and they direct you. They don't normally enact the scene for you. जैसे जैसे आप डबिंग सीखेंगे वैसे वैसे आप रियलाइज करेंगे कि जो मेन कैरेक्टर है उसकी जो टोन है, उसका जो बॉडी लैंग्वेज है, जो जेस्चर है, जर्क है, पॉजेज हैं, वो धीरे धीरे आपको समझ में आएंगे जैसे जैसे डबिंग सीखेंगे. इट्स अ वेरी बिग क्राफ्ट एंड डबिंग इज अ वेरी बिग पार्ट ऑफ इट. पर डबिंग डायरेक्टर्स कई बार आप कहीं अटक जाते हैं तो वो आपको दिखाते भी हैं. आई थिंक डबिंग डायरेक्टर इज अ वेरी बिग एक्टर हिमसेल्फ. वो खुद भी एक्टर होते हैं. तो या आई थिंक कई बार दिखाते भी हैं करके सीन, कई बार नहीं दिखाते, कई बार आपको समझाते हैं आप जहाँ गलत जा रहे हैं आपको सही डायरेक्शन में मोड़ने का काम, उनका काम बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. तो बहुत सारे डबिंग डायरेक्टर्स के साथ काम किया. मेरा सपना था कि मैं लीला मैम के साथ काम करूं, वो नहीं हो पाया. मैं दिल्ली में हूँ, लीला मैम बॉम्बे में थी, पर मैंने उनके बारे में इतना सुना, और मोना मैम के साथ काम करने का मेरा सपना है, और आई थिंक एक दिन पूरा होगा.
प्लीज बॉम्बे आ जाओ.
मैं आती हूँ मैम, क्विकली.
फटाफट सपना पूरा कर देंगे.
डन. थैंक यू.
और भूमिका बताओ.
I think dubbing directors are very, very, very important. They are the captain of the ship. Like Pallavi said, अगर आप गलत जा रहे हो तो direction देने वाले dubbing directors ही होते हैं. There are two best friends in the studio. One is your sound engineer, and primary dubbing directors are your best friends. So बहुत बार ऐसा होता है that you do not realize कि आपकी voice कैसी होनी चाहिए. मतलब आप record कर रहे हो, आपकी voice probably कैसी साउंड करी, यू डोंट रियलाइज, एंड डबिंग डायरेक्टर्स एग्जैक्टली टेल यू आपको ऐसे बोलना है. सो दे आर इन अ वे एक्टर्स ऑल्सो. आई हैव सीन डबिंग डायरेक्टर्स इनैक्ट द सीन इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी, एंड दे गिव योर वर्क so much of variety. You might think in certain manner and they'll tell you no, it can be like this also. So they are very important. I personally want to be a director's voice artist. So yeah, I always love my dubbing directors to be around me.
Yeah. So
मेरा सपना है that I can work for any series with you.
अरे तुरंत, ये तो पूरा हो जाएगा तुरंत. उर्फी ने बोला ना 5 मिनट लगते हैं हमें. थैंकफुली
मेरा वो सपना पूरा हो चुका है.
वो नहीं आया, थैंकफुली वो पैनल पे नहीं है. But yeah, so tell me about your experience with dubbing directors.
See, I love to work with friends who have become directors who become friends. But like over the years, जब आप काम करते रहते हैं, आपकी आवाज, आपका बोलने का ढंग, आप जिस तरह से कैरेक्टर को अप्रोच करते हैं, वो कहीं मोनोटोनस हो सकता है. सो डायरेक्टर इज द वन हु ब्रेक्स दैट मोनोटनी. वो बोलता है कि नहीं, ये कैरेक्टर हम ऐसे करेंगे और इसमें कुछ नयापन लाते हैं. सो आई जस्ट लव दैट बिकॉज आई फील दैट्स व्हेन यू अनलर्न whatever you have learned और यहाँ आके कुछ नया करते हैं. So even when you're working with a new director, I like that whole feel of this nervous energy that what is he going to say or what is she going to say, कैसे करेंगे, क्या नहीं करेंगे, and all of that. So yes, because you're learning new stuff every day. You're learning to approach or use your voice in a different way. हालांकि voice वही है और आप हर एक कैरेक्टर को उतना ही शिद्दत से निभाना चाहते हो और करते हो, पर एक डायरेक्टर लाइक भूमिका ऑल्सो राइटली सेड कि वो डायरेक्टर है जो आपको एक डायरेक्शन देता है कि नहीं, ये ऐसे भी ट्राई करें या कुछ और नया करते हैं. सो यस, नीड गुड डायरेक्टर्स एंड लकीली वी डू हैव देम.
कल्पेश पूछ रहा है, एनी टिप्स फॉर डबिंग डायरेक्टर्स?
Ooh, you just be by our side, Kalpesh. I have something very interesting. If we have time, I have to talk about Kalpesh. A very funny anecdote.
बोलो, जल्दी बोलो. Time is up.
You know, we come from the times, Mona, where we were not allowed to say kutta, doggy, and a lot of bad words, right? And in comes the show Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
Where you were saying everything and everything. Okay, तो language और भाषा तो हम लोग ने हा क्या गालियां दी है. I was, so to say, initiated in that series के oh गाली देंगे. They were all excited. Oh, सुरभि मैम गाली देने वाली है, चलो चलो चलो. Now this character of mine, Alaida, is a Spanish woman. She's a sex worker. She's a drug peddler, and of course that's the reason why she was in jail. And she is obscene when she talks. She describes this particular scene. She describes how she pleases her client. Okay, and it was explicit. She was just gesticulating and everything, gestures, yaha waha, everywhere. I saw that and I said, अरे बाप रे, ये करना है, ये जो लिखा है ये बोलना है. तो बोले हाँ. तो I said, कल्पेश या कोई है तो प्लीज बुलाओ. सर हाँ बुलाते. कल्पेश के में saying yes ma'am, क्या हुआ. तो I, you can see them. I said, can you just see this or tell me if we can change something. ये बहुत ज्यादा है मेरे हिसाब से. तो वो देख रहा है and then slowly I see him out of my vision because this scene was so explicit. I mean, I can't even say what all it said.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, talk back off karo. I cannot say these things in front of Survi ji. He was so embarrassed. Yeah. And he was like, 5 minutes, he comes back on and he sings, Survi ji, मैंने lines लिख ली है, मैंने खुद sing करके देख लिया है, सब कुछ ठीक है, आप प्लीज बोल के करके चले जाइए. So see the respect that you have for one another. So that is also another thing which transpires, and you feel that, oh my God, I cannot say this in front of them. And he was like, okay. और जैसे ही सब खत्म हुआ, we were all like, okay, हम लोग जा रहे हैं, bye bye, goodbye. So
yeah. No, I mean, we come across great situations, really fun, really funny situations during our dub. Some very stressful situations, some very, like Pallavi said, some very hard deadlines कि जल्दी करो, खत्म करना है, a lot of stress. ये भी है, but yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's our passion for our work, and thanks to the environment, the engineers we work with, the dubbing directors we work with, everybody kinds of tries to make it easier for us, hopefully. So yes, before we wrap up, I want a quick word. We never got a chance to speak about a few things that I wanted to touch upon, like, what is it like to be a woman in the industry? Do you feel that there's anything different that women experience in our industry? Then, what are the typically, what are the qualities that a voice actor should have, especially a newcomer? What are the qualities that make let's say that make a great voice actor? And what would be your advice to any aspiring voice actors? Let's have a quick wrap up, Pallavi.
Sure, Mona ji, I think a woman in the industry, it's a relevant question. I think in the past I've faced issues like, अरे इतना पैसा आप मांग रहे हैं, हम तो वो हमारे जो मेल एक्टर है वो भी इतना नहीं चार्ज करते. So I think वो जैसे like in any other trade वो pay disparity था पहले, but now I think it's diminishing a little, and there are clients who ask specifically for you and they choose you over any male actor. So that's really good. The change is coming slowly, and I think if you're an aspiring voice actor, आपके सामने बोलना बनता नहीं है Mona ji, but since you asked me, I'm saying this. I think you have to be an actor first. थोड़ा बहुत acting आना चाहिए, because we're doing so much of, like, the craft is so diverse और इतने सारे streams हैं that you have to be an actor to fit all the roles. Modulation and then command over language, जो भी है, regional artists के लिए भी बहुत सारा काम है. हिंदी, इंग्लिश, उर्दू, पंजाबी, जो भी लैंग्वेज आप कर रहे हो उस पर आपकी अच्छी खासी पकड़ होनी चाहिए, so that the pronunciation is clear. थोड़ा सा I think COVID has taught us कि टेक्नोलॉजी भी थोड़ा बहुत आना चाहिए, ताकि you're not dependent on people, you can run your own show. तो थोड़ा बहुत क्या सॉफ्टवेयर है, क्या माइक है, थोड़ा बहुत बेसिक कंप्यूटर नॉलेज, पंच इन पंच आउट आना चाहिए. और आई थिंक यू शुड बी डेडिकेटेड टू योर क्राफ्ट, फोकस्ड. ऐसा नहीं है कि एक दिन किया नहीं जमा तो अगले दिन छोड़ के भाग गए. थोड़ा हार्ड वर्क है. सो वो सब. और लास्ट क्वेश्चन क्या था आपका मोना जी? एस्पायरिंग आर्टिस्ट
advice.
The advice is to keep learning and unlearning. unlearning is important क्योंकि हम लोग बोलते बोलते इतना habitual हो जाते हैं. We try and say things in a particular style and then we stick to it. तो थोड़ा सा unlearn करना आना चाहिए, and you have to be focused and keep learning. Like you said, Mona ji, it's an evolving craft. तो हर दिन to be in sync with the times थोड़ा जरूरी है, और हर दिन सीखना है, हर दिन practice करना है to get great at your craft.
Okay, lovely. Bhumika?
Your first question, I would like to say it's a male-dominated world. So it's always 65 to 35%. You know, car commercials, male voiceover, client-led AVs, male voiceover. Forget about that.
I like
Fair and Lovely hai ab men's Fair and Lovely. So beauty products also male voiceover. So where are we? हमें क्या मिलता है? Higher paychecks, male voiceover. I'm just kidding. Actually, till the time we have champs like you, I think there's no comparison. There's no comparison. They do their work, we do our work. Champs like you and Surbhi. And advice I would like to say, you know, never ever give up on your dreams. In case you're starting, you should have somebody to guide you that this is correct and this is not. Because initially आप studios में जाओगे तो people will not have time to guide you and hand hold you कि ये सही है और ये सही नहीं है. So initially your practice is only going to help you. You should get somebody to correct your pronunciations, diction, and modulations. You know, you should know, like Pallavi said, you should know how to technically, in case your sound, you can record your own voice. You can record your own voice on phone. And in case you know languages, then that's a plus. So there are many things. And in this journey, you be ready that you're going to face challenges, but never give up. You know, look at the big picture and aim for the sky, but meet the stars.
Excellent. Surbhi?
It's strange, but I don't feel, or I have never felt this disparity. Maybe because of our industry, we have Sound and Vision, which is led by Mona Ghosh. Audio Magic is by Rajshri, and we have so many other women who are ruling the game. It started with Leela ji, so there was never, I have never felt it that, oh, men versus women. As far as our paychecks were also concerned, it was not that, oh, the men will get it more or the women. It is what part do you have in a particular series or a film or whatever. If you're doing a bigger part, you get a better pay, and so be it. And even if it was say a senior doing a smaller part, it's not that he's going to get paid that much more if you're playing the lead. So I think I'm blessed that way, yes. And yeah, the advice I would like to give people is that don't be scared to start from, say, rock bottom or the scratch, because that's how you're going to get better. If when you hone your talent, you will really get higher and higher. And yeah, like she said, Bhumika said that practice, even record on the mobile, hear how you sound. Oh, sometimes you feel you're doing a good job, but you're not. So once you hear yourself again and again and again, you will know where you're making your mistakes and learn the craft. If there are classes you can attend to, do that. Even at home, if you think you can lip sync something, you know, write the scene, lip sync, do that, because essentially, I mean, for our industry, it is, the syncing is very important. So you can do that. And then another very nice conversation I'd had with Mona and Manini is like, when over a period of time, it's my voice, I am trying to change, but still trying to be different or sounding different and not myself. That's very difficult. And that is what every actor or a voice actor aspires to be. So once you learn that, you can really reach the heights. Yes.
Yeah. Great. I think we've had some great conversation today. Thank you, ladies. It looks like we didn't need those shots after all.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.